In our ever-changing world, there is one thing that has never changed. Our constant search to be happy and avoid suffering. Consciously or unconsciously, all our actions are ultimately directed at this quest. Sanatana Dharma, or Hinduism as it is known today, has always taught us the way to obtain lasting happiness. Sanatana Dharma is not just about rituals. The Vedic scriptures and our ancient sages also teach us about our universe and how we can live in it.
And everything in it is meaningful. This is the only dharma where you have a vision, a way of life to accomplish that vision.
All human beings ultimately pursue a goal of happiness, peace, bliss. These are all things which we always think about. However, some of us don't understand what it exactly means. We think materialistic pursuits would give us that happiness.
Sanatana Dharma wants to take you step by step to a simple but startling revelation. True happiness does not lie outside. It is inside you because your essential nature is bliss.
I cannot find it outside. And even if I find it outside, it will not be lasting. And therefore, the aim of the Vedas is to initially fulfill our personal desires and gradually take us to spirituality and help us discover the inner source of permanent peace, security, and happiness.
To this day, the entire knowledge system of Sanatana Dharma rests on a single entity, the Guru. The tradition of the Guru and disciple is the core of this Dharma.
It is the uniqueness of Sanatana Dharma which insists that for personal spiritual growth, for true fulfillment in life, the Guru is indispensable. Even the avatars themselves have shown us by doing upasati, doing the seva of their Guru, and coming out as perfect individuals who subsequently have done the tremendous work of that avatarana.
To me, Guru is one who is a superpower, a highest source of energy, who is always there with you to guide you in all circumstances.
Throughout history, many gurus have descended upon earth and shaped the way we live our lives. 60 years ago, a child was born in South India who would become a foremost exponent of Sanatana Dharma and its philosophy of Advaita Vedanta. He would adorn the spiritual throne of the Sringeri Sharada Peetham and join the unbroken chain of Jagat Gurus, stretching back in time to the great philosopher saint Sri Adi Shankaracharya. He would teach the world the importance of Sanatana Dharma even in today's modern age. He would teach that one can indeed live a normal life and attain both material prosperity and spiritual fulfillment. He would help all seekers in making the journey to the divinity within themselves and find its blissful nature.
Whenever I come here and seek his blessings, I find peace and a guiding force. I think whenever you have those, when you're at a point where you have to take a decision which is going to change the way you're going to go ahead in life, I think at that point in time you seek divine interventions and also divine support, and that's what I get when I see the Acharya and seek his blessings.
Sringeri Mutt is perhaps the shining example of an ascetic discipline unknown anywhere else in the world. As I know, our Sringeri Acharya is a traditional and very well informed, well respected and an authority in our tradition and sampradaya. If you have a doubt, we can go to him and ask him, and he can resolve. That kind of a stature, not by position, but by his own learning, by his own scholarship, he is respected by all of us, and therefore he is the Acharya.
We have not seen Mother Sharadamba, we have not seen Mother Sharada Devi, but whenever you approach Mahaswamigal, his very eyes will attract you as a motherly affection.
This is a tribute to the great sage Jagadguru Sri Bharati Tirtha Mahaswamiji, the 36th Acharya of the Sringeri Sharada Peetham. The ancient tradition of Sanatana Dharma was revived by the philosopher saint Sri Adi Shankaracharya over 1200 years ago. If today the followers of Sanatana Dharma can visit a temple and spiritual seekers can correctly interpret the meaning of the Upanishads, it is because of his efforts and writings. In order to preserve and foster Sanatana Dharma, Sri Shankaracharya established 4 Peethams or centers of learning in the 4 directions of India.
The beauty and the greatness of the Sringeri Peetha is that the Guru Parampara is unbroken for the last 1200 years.
And starting from Sureshwaracharya himself, we have got a wonderful lineage to perpetuate this tradition, and every Acharya has been almost an avatara or an embodiment of Sakshat Sharada Devi herself, and the devotees have experienced that. Unfortunately, we have got Sri Bharati Tirtha Mahaswamigal also in our midst to continue that illustrious tradition, and Mahaswamigal has been the representative of Sanatana Dharma, both the Veda Purva Bhaga as well as Veda Anta Bhaga, and Mahaswamigal continues to guide so many disciples who are the spiritual seekers.
There is a big reservoir of compassion and anugraha sitting in a remote Sringeri and blessing the entire world, the entire Vaidika Sampradaya, wherever it is.
Why is the life of Jagadguru Sri Bharati Tirtha Mahaswamiji relevant to us? It is an example of how every one of us can experience divinity by surrendering to a Guru and following the teachings of Sanatana Dharma. Viewing his life through the eyes of wisdom will teach us about how to make our lives more meaningful, balanced and happy.
I feel it's a tremendous blessing to be able to visit Sringeri, to have the darshan of Mahaswamiji, who leads such a truly ascetic life. The penance, the austerity and the compassion shown by the Jagadgurus of Sringeri always draws us back there again and again.
सर्वासु भाषासु तत्र शास्त्रीयविषयः इत्येव न व्यावहारिकोऽपि विषयः तैः यथा ज्ञायते तथा अन्यैः ज्ञातुं न शक्यते इदम् अनुभूयते
यद्यपि एवं रीत्या निवेशे हरतो हिमानित्यत्र अन्यभावव्याप्यो भेदधृतेऽतिव्याप्तो न सम्भवति तथापि हरतः वह्निभयवान् इत्येतादृशस्थले अतिव्याप्तिः सम्भवत्येव।
तर्हि एकविज्ञानेन सर्वविज्ञानम् इति यत् वेदान्तसिद्धान्तः वर्तते, अहम् एवं चिन्तयामि, श्रीचरणाः तस्यैव सिद्धान्तस्य मूर्तरूपाः इति। अतः तेषाम् अज्ञातः विषयः कोऽपि नास्ति।
The presence of Mahaswamin invariably inspires awe and respect. His vidvata, his adhikara, the authoritative bearing tend to calm the mind.
From a young age, I had wanted to know God, but I had questions and doubts, and I could find no one who was able to resolve them. Eventually, my inquiries led to the study of Vedanta, but even here, any knowledge that I gained from reading and discussion remained at the level of theory, and it all felt more like a burden than a liberation from ignorance. Then I had the greatest good fortune of receiving darshan of Sri Sri Bharati Tirtha. The blessing of his actions, words and presence accomplished in me what my own efforts had never managed to do, and that was to sweep away my doubts and uncertainties about the divine goal and the path to it.
Jagadguru Sri Bharati Tirtha Mahaswamiji was born on April 11th, 1951 to a pious Brahmin couple, Sri Venkateshwara Avadhani and his wife, Srimati Ananta Lakshmamma, in the coastal town of Machilipatnam in Andhra Pradesh. This couple had performed a long penance to be blessed with a son. One day, soon after the birthday celebrations of Lord Rama, Srimati Anantalakshmamma had a dream. Lord Hanuman appeared before her and blessed her with 3 mangoes. Although no one could understand the exact significance of the 3 mangoes, the couple was thrilled. Everyone agreed that it was a divine sign. The couple was then blessed with a son, and they named him Sitarama Anjaneyalu. The family then moved from Machilipatnam to Narsaraopet. The child had a great affinity for visiting temples. He would often sit there in contemplation and chant the divine names of God. Sri Avadhani lovingly brought up his son, teaching him stories from the scriptures and holy verses. At the age of 5, the boy began learning Sanskrit under a local scholar and his elder sister. To everyone's surprise, the boy began speaking fluent Sanskrit in no time. When the boy turned 7, his father performed his thread ceremony. He then entered into the life of a brahmachari and he was initiated into the studies of the Vedas.
He regularly woke up at 5 a.m., meticulously performed Sandhya Vandanam and Agni Karya, and took great interest in his Vedic studies under my father. There were great changes in him.
There was remarkable elevation in the intensity and focus of his prayers. He frequented the nearby Shiva temple and spent hours offering worship. In 1961, Brahmachari Anjaneyalu was 10 years old and he would meet a sage who would transform his life.
The Jagat Guru Shankaracharya of Sringeri, Sri Abhinav Vidyatirtha Mahaswamiji, was camping in the city of Vijayawada. A local scholar took him to meet the Jagat Guru. The Jagat Guru was thrilled with his command over Sanskrit and his recitation of Vedic chants.
This experience had a profound effect on the young brahmachari who now considered the Jagat Guru as his own guru. He began feeling the Sringeri Jagat Guru's presence and guidance in everything he did. Proud of his heritage, he attended the local school dressed only in his traditional brahmachari attire of a dhoti and sporting a tuft. The brahmachari used to assist his father in performing various dharmic rituals. His father continued to be amazed with his grasping power. Some years passed. The brahmachari was now in the 11th grade, and despite doing well at school, there was a burning desire in him to learn the Shastras. His father urged him to finish his 12th grade and promised to make arrangements for his Shastric studies after that. However, a divine turn of events occurred in February 1966 when the Sringeri Jagat Guru visited Narsaraopet. The brahmachari found the Jagat Guru's presence irresistible. The impact was so powerful that he would soon make a life-changing decision. It is inevitable that at some point in our lives, all of us deal with suffering, disease, old age and death. We start reflecting upon our own lives.
While it is true that people do turn to God when they are confronted with problems they cannot tackle, it is also true that divine grace is inexplicable, that there are individuals who seek to touch the feet of God at a young age without necessarily having to go through the heartburn that life can generally generate.
Brahmachari Anjaneyalu had not encountered any major suffering or setbacks in his life. However, he had understood the impermanent nature of worldly existence, and his life and mind were deeply drawn towards his Guru.
Maybe in the case of Jagadgurus like that, they are practically in the last stage of their spiritual evolution. They are practically born to become teachers. This is only a sparking plug, so to say. As soon as that environment comes, they are able to not only practice but also rise to the highest spiritual levels.
A few months after his meeting with his Guru, the young Brahmachari boarded a train and left home without informing his parents. He was drawn to Jain, where the Sringeri Jagadguru was camping. Just as the young Adi Shankara left his mother to seek his Guru, the young Brahmachari Anjaneyalu left home to be with his Guru when only 15 years old. The Brahmachari surrendered to the Sringeri Jagadguru on the afternoon of July 1st, 1966.
On that very same day, he wrote a moving letter to my father explaining the reason behind his decision. Quoting a verse from the Viveka Chudamani, he wrote that he had surrendered to his Guru by his own will to fulfill the purpose of his life.
The Jagadguru embraced the Brahmachari as his disciple. He then began personally teaching him the Shastras and guiding his spiritual quest. Why is the Guru such an integral part of Sanatana Dharma? Why can't we just directly read and understand the scriptures and use it as a guide to lead our lives?
In Sanatana Dharma, we do have our avatars, messiahs, prophets. But the spiritual growth, the Guru, the grace of the Guru is most necessary. No progress, I can even say pravesha, entry into the spiritual path is possible without the guidance, protection of the Guru.
The scripture teachings are directed towards the entire humanity. And therefore the teachings are many and varied in keeping with the level of the people. Therefore, whatever is relevant for one person or one group of people will not be relevant to others. And therefore, if we superficially look at the entire Vedic teaching, it may appear to be confusing and also in some places contradictory also.
It's a very beautiful tradition. Therefore, Guru is not dispensable. He is not dispensable if you want to have jnanam. If you want to get confused, then you can read on your own.
Sri Ramakrishna, in one of his talks, jokingly says, even for stealing, one person should get training from an expert thief, so that he will steal, but he will not be caught. If that is the case, with regard to stealing, what about Adhyatma Vidya? Nobody can master Adhyatma Vidya without the help of a great Guru who himself has experienced the truths in his life. Therefore, the place of a Guru in spiritual life, even in Vyavaharik life, is absolutely necessary. There can be no doubt about that.
The relation between a Guru and a disciple is unique. The Guru is merged into God consciousness and needs nothing. And the disciple is ever ready to give everything to the Guru. How does one then approach a Guru? How should one interact with a Guru?
The Guru is approached with a firm conviction that he holds the knowledge, he can impart the knowledge. The Shishya has to develop the conviction that he deserves this knowledge, he can aspire for it and be fulfilled in this very life.
The Brahmachari's interactions with his Guru clearly match the disciplines mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita.
Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. When the Shishya begins his Guru Upasati, it is seva that is of prime importance. It is through seva that the purification happens. It is because of seva and the resultant purification of the antakarana, of the mind of the Shishya, begins that the Shishya's questions become more coherent. His inquiry into the Satya, the truth, becomes more focused. So his prashnas, his questions become more relevant. So seva, pariprashna, and then pranipat, where he begins to understand the magnificence of the Guru. He begins to understand, identify himself with the Tattva. He realizes the oneness of the Ishvara, the Guru and the Atman, resulting in total pranipata, surrender.
Desire to know is converted into desire to hear, and in order to hear the Shastra, he is ready to hear any command. Therefore, Kinkaraha, he becomes a student who can be called Kinkara. Kim kim na karoti di Kinkara. Yenna shayya matan artha. What he will not do for the teacher's sake. That is the attitude. So this attitude is pakka, is a total surrender, which is very understandable.
The relationship between the Brahmachari and his Guru began to blossom, reminding everyone of the time-honored Guru-Shishya tradition. The Brahmachari developed a deep-seated interest in the Upanishads. As time passed, his spiritual achievements were clearly reflected in his conduct.
I feel very blessed that I was able to serve and interact with Mahaswamiji right from his pre-monastic days. I was so attracted to him that I began doing small chores for him, and gradually he began mentoring me. He preferred solitude. His activities were restricted to doing his Nitya Karma, studying the Shastras, and strictly adhering to his Guru's instructions.
Seeing the Brahmachari's dedication to his studies, the Jagat Guru created an extension to his residence so he could be alone and focus on mastering the Vedas and Shastras.
He was Ekasantagrahi, one who grasps on hearing just once. Whatever he was taught in the morning, he would completely restate it in the afternoon. He had such great faith in the Vedas and the Shastras that he invariably inculcated the interest of the scriptures in anyone who came into contact with him.
Bathed in the grace of his Guru, the Brahmachari always seemed to be in a state of inner peace. His love for the scriptures expanded into an enthusiasm to teach.
He loved to teach. He also showed us how to perform some advanced yogic asanas. He was learned, humble, and always ready to impart his knowledge. Naturally, all of us developed a deep sense of respect and affection towards him.
The years passed under the watchful eyes of his Guru. The Brahmachari was imbibing everything his Guru taught him, and the Jagat Guru was pleased with his disciples' progress.
He knew what to select and what not to select, and his Guru always was there to guide him in selecting the things that a real Shishya should look for in attaining the ultimate.
It was clear that he wanted to be a sannyasi. The Jagat Guru had noticed in him certain characteristics: leadership skills, ability to efficiently execute the Jagat Guru's instructions, and a deep sense of devotion to the Sringeri Guru Parampara.
In 1974, during the Navaratri festival, 8 years after accepting the young Brahmachari as his disciple, the Jagat Guru made a major announcement. The Brahmachari had been divinely sent to be his successor to the ancient spiritual throne of transcendental wisdom at Sringeri. On 11th November 1974, Brahmachari Anjaneyalu was initiated into sannyasa by the Jagat Guru and given the Yoga Patta, or monastic name of Sri Bharati Tirtha. The young Mahaswamiji now had new responsibilities. While his innate tendency was to stay in seclusion and absorb himself in meditation, he would now have to engage with the activities of an ancient Peetham.
Every day, the conflict that we face in our life is even faced by Matadipatis. On the one hand, as a sannyasi, and on the other hand, as a source of energy, as a source of inspiration to household life givers. Thus, the role that our Jagat Guru plays is a very difficult one, wherein he has to see how his dharma as a sannyasi is pursued, and at the same time how the conflict situations that a common man like me faces in life is also answered whenever we ask a question of that nature to him.
Because of his devotion to his Guru and his compassion towards all people, the young Mahaswamiji, who otherwise had no desires, firmly adopted one desire: to provide guidance and seek the welfare of all who approached him. Once his Guru described how the young Mahaswamiji conducted himself as his disciple.
ನಾನು ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಶಿಷ್ಯರೊಂದಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಶಿಷ್ಯರು ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಶಿಷ್ಯರಾಗಿ ಹೇಗಿರಬೇಕು ಹಾಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಾರ್ಥ ಸಭೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಳಿತಾಗ ವಾಕ್ಯಾರ್ಥ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪಂಡಿತರು ಬಂದಿದ್ರು, ನಿಮಗಿಂತ ಒಂದು ಕೈ ನಂದು ಹೆಚ್ಚೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮಂಡನ್ ಮಿಶ್ರಾ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪಂಡಿತರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟವಾದ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಸಹ ಅವರು ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಇವರಿಗೂ ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನಗಳು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯ ಶಿಷ್ಯರ ಜೊತೆ ಸುತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂತ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಓದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಯಾರು ಸುತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಶಿಷ್ಯರು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು, ಗುರು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಹೀಗೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾಕೋ ಇದೇ ತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದೇನ್ರಯ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಅಷ್ಟ ತೃಪ್ತಿಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಾರ್ಥ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿಯೋ, ಯುದ್ಧ ಸಭೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಕ್ಯಾರ್ಥ ಮಾಡುವಾಗಲೋ, ಗುರು ಶಿಷ್ಯರು ಇಬ್ಬರು ನಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ರೀತಿಯೋ,
In September 1989, the Mahaswamiji's Guru attained Videha Mukti. On 19th October 1989, the Mahaswamiji became the 36th Jagat Guru in the unbroken lineage stretching directly back to Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Why is the lineage and tradition of a guru so important?
When the Veda is a pramana, the pramana is in the form of words. And the words have to be handled by a sampradaya with. Words have to be made understood. And therefore, they have to be handled. Only a live teacher can handle. And a live teacher, how did he become a teacher? He had a teacher. How did he become a teacher? He had a teacher. How did he become a teacher? There was a teacher. Who is the original teacher? That is Ishvara himself. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmad Acharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara. Sringeri, Guru, means he is a sampradaya with. He knows this sampradaya. And therefore, listening to him is to exposing yourself to a pramana. And therefore, acharyas are people achinoti, swayam acharati, anyan acharayati. He is called acharya. The one who teaches, the one who lives, and one who makes others live. He is called acharya.
Sringeri tradition of the Advaita philosophy is purely an academic and strictly spiritual and mystic tradition.
Bhagavad Pada says in one place, a man may be a walking dictionary or encyclopedia, but if he has not got the knowledge through the Guru Parampara, he should be considered as a murkha, murkhavat upekshaniyaha. So getting the knowledge through a Guru Parampara is extremely important, because when the Guru teaches us, he does not give only intellectual knowledge, he will also impart a little of the power and the spirit he himself has obtained from his Gurus and from his own tapas.
For centuries, the Shankaracharyas of Sringeri have had a vital influence on the religious and spiritual landscape of India. They have played a key role in forming and guiding many important institutions that are fostering Sanatana Dharma.
My mind goes back to the sannyas diksha of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna took sannyas from Totapuri, who was a member of the Dashanami sannyasa order. Puri is the name that he has given to Sri Ramakrishna, and all of us belong to the Puri group of sannyasins. And as we know very well, Bharati, Saraswati and Puri, these three titles are assigned to the Sringeri Matha. So we always consider that the Sringeri Matha is, in the spiritual sense, our main headquarters.
Sometimes the acharyas get stature because of their preetams. Sometimes the preetams get stature because of their acharyas. Sringeri has two types of twofold stature. One is because of the acharya it has got a stature, and because of the stature, of course, the acharya becomes important. Both ways. That's how I look upon Sringeri.
Since the four Amnaya Pithams were established to fulfill a specific purpose, the person adorning them would necessarily have to have special qualities. These have been defined by Adi Shankaracharya himself. Only he who is pure has control over his senses and is well versed in Vedic literature is eligible to occupy the spiritual throne of the Pitham.
And we find that all these qualities are very evident in Mahaswamin. Only a person endowed with such qualities can truly fulfill the role ordained by the Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya. We find this work happening almost effortlessly in Sringeri.
आत्मविद्याम् उपदेष्टुं कः गुरुः उपसर्पणीयः इति कठोपनिषदि उक्तं वर्तते। न नरेण अवरेण प्रोक्तः एष सुविज्ञेयः बहुधा चिन्त्यमानः अनन्यप्रोक्ते गतिरत्र नास्ति इति। यः आत्म अनुभवेन आत्मा एव सम्पन्नः तादृशेन गुरुणा यदि आत्मा उपदिश्यते तर्हि अवगतिः अवश्यं भवत्येव। शिष्यस्य भाग्यं तत् तादृशगुरुलाभः तेन गुरुणा उपदिष्टे अंशे अस्य अज्ञानं नैव सम्भवति, अवश्यं ज्ञानं भवत्येव इति एकं व्याख्यानं कृतं। जगद्गुरवः तादृशाः अनुभववन्तः, अतः तेषां मुखात् यदा अस्माभिः विषयः अवगम्यते तदा अज्ञानं दूरतः पलायते इति अस्माकम् अनुभवः।
A self-realized guru will guide each disciple individually according to their competency and inherent nature.
One Acharya gives a beautiful example that Guru is like the cloud. The cloud absorbs pure water from the ocean, leaving aside the salt, and gives the pure water for us to drink. If we directly go to the ocean, we may get only salt water. The cloud knows how to separate and give us. Similarly, Veda contains so many ideas. We will not know what is relevant to us and what is not. If you go to Guru, Guru will know how to sift and take the relevant instructions from the Vedas and give us, so that we will not be confused and we are smoothly led towards our spiritual growth.
Bhagavad-padaः गुरुलक्षणं वदन्ति अधिगततत्त्वः शिष्यहिताय उद्यतः सततम् इति। अत्र अंशद्वयं वर्तते, तत्त्वाधिगमः शिष्यहितोद्देश्यक सतत उद्यमः इति। एतदंशद्वयमपि मया अस्मद्गुरूणां श्रीचरणानां सन्निधौ अध्ययनकाले साक्षात्कृतं। तत्र प्रथमांशः भवति तत्त्वाधिगमः इति। तत्त्वज्ञानं तेषां यादृशमस्ति इत्यस्मिन् विषये तु प्रायः वक्तव्यं नास्ति, यतः सर्वेपि विद्वांसः जानन्ति एव तेषां तत्त्वज्ञानं कीदृशम् इति। द्वितीयः अंशः अस्ति शिष्यहितोद्देश्यकसतत उद्यमः इति। सः अंशः मया छात्रदशायां बहुधा अनुभूतः, अधुनापि अनुभूयमानो अस्ति।
Despite their vast learning, self-realized gurus are humble, as were the sages of the Upanishads. They often say, "If I know the answer to your question, I shall gladly give it."
Questions posed by sincere sadhakas, no matter how trivial they may appear to be, are listened to patiently, understood and answered in great detail. This sahajata is an indication of a Brahmanishta who has no ego and doesn't need to project himself in any specific manner.
This emphasis on humility is a defining trait of a Shankaracharya of Sringeri.
I had the good fortune of meeting him personally, and what I found was he was so simple, so approachable and so affectionate, never showing that he was the great guru adored by lakhs of people all over the world. The second point that struck me very much was his Guru Bhakti, the devotion he had not only to the immediately next Guru but to the entire Guru Parampara. This is something which is remarkable, which every one of us has to learn in our personal spiritual life. Of course, I had some questions and he was very happy to answer and satisfy and clear my doubts.
वैदुष्यं दृष्ट्वा ते नितरां सन्तुष्टाः भवन्ति, तदपेक्षयापि विनयं दृष्ट्वा ते बहुधा सन्तुष्यन्ति। यतः बहुत्र मया दृष्टं ये बालाः भवन्ति ते यत्किमपि किञ्चित् अधीत्य आगच्छन्ति, विनयसम्पन्नाः भवन्ति चेत् तर्हि तेषां मुखात् श्रुत्वा आनन्दम् अनुभवन्ति श्रीचरणाः।
Through his unceasing efforts every day, the Mahaswamiji has preserved and strengthened the great tradition of the Sringeri Jagat Gurus.
I have been fortunate to serve the Mahaswamiji for the last 25 years. If you look at nature, there is nothing hurried about it, yet everything gets quietly accomplished. Mahaswamiji's day is like that. A typical day of Mahaswamiji begins at 4 a.m. and ends past 11 p.m. The Mahaswamiji engages himself in spiritual practices such as japas and dhyanas that are ordained for sannyasis and those that are additionally done by the acharyas of the Sringeri Sharada Peetham. This takes several hours. He spends significant time every day deeply contemplating on the intricacies and import of the scriptures. He imparts the knowledge of Nyaya, Vyakarana and Vedanta to deserving pupils.
तत्र तेषां पाठनशैली तु मनोज्ञा, सर्वेपि जानन्ति। यः पाठनक्रमः सः बालानामपि अत्यन्तं हितकारी भवति, यतः तेषां प्रथमतः या मधुरावाणी, ततः परं ललितपदपुञ्जप्रयोगः, ततः परं सुस्पष्टता, सर्वापेक्षयापि परिशुद्धा भाषा, एते बहवः गुणाः तेषां पाठने उपलभ्यन्ते। तावन्तः गुणाः प्रायः कुत्रापि नोपलभ्यन्ते। तेषां पाठनानन्तरम् अस्माकम् अनुभवः ईदृशः भवति, किम् एतावान् कालः व्यतीतो वा इति।
एतेषां शास्त्रेषु निरतिशयं वैदुष्यं विज्ञाय केचन पण्डिताः मन्येरन् इमे सर्वदापि आसायम् आप्रातः शास्त्रावलोकने निरता भवन्ति इति। परन्तु नैवं वस्तुस्थितिर्वर्तते, यतोहि एतेषां प्रतिदिनं विशेषकार्यक्रमः भवत्येव। श्रीमठे बहवः उत्सवाः प्रतिवर्षं प्रचलन्ति। एवं प्रतिदिनं किञ्चन व्रतादिकं भवति। अन्यत्र क्षेत्रेषु पुण्यक्षेत्रेषु कुम्भाभिषेकादिकमपि कार्यं भवति। एतेषु कार्यभारेषु सत्स्वपि श्रीचरणाः कदा शास्त्राध्ययनं कुर्वन्ति, कथमिदं वैदुष्यम् असाधारणम् एतैः सम्पादितम् इति महदिदम् अस्माकमपि चित्रम् आतनोति।
Thousands of devotees throng to Sringeri, and the Mahaswamiji spends about 4 hours every day listening to them and offering them guidance. He also makes time to attend to personal correspondences and guide the activities of the Peetham. Every night, the Mahaswamiji performs the elaborate Chandramaulishwara Puja for the welfare of humanity. He then ends his day reading at his personal library.
Mahaswamiji never compromises on his personal worship and teaching students. Hence, even when on a Vijaya Yatra, Mahaswamiji restricts his travel to about 3 hours a day. There is never a day off or anything like that. This has been Mahaswamiji's schedule every single day for the past 36 years.
चतुर्दशमासान् ते विजययात्राम् अकुर्वन् कन्याकुमारीतः श्रीनगरपर्यन्तं। तदानीं मामपि ते नीतवन्तः पठतु इति। स्वयं ते अपाठयन् अध्यापनं नैरन्तर्येण प्रचलति स्म। यद्यपि यात्रावसरे बहवः कार्यक्रमाः भवन्ति, कदाचित् रात्रौ 12वादनपर्यन्तमपि सार्ध-12वादनपर्यन्तमपि पूजादि कार्यक्रमाः भवन्ति स्म। अथापि प्रातस्तु यथा पूर्वं 7वादने पाठस्य आरम्भः। तथा तेषां तत्र नियमपरिपालनमासीत्। यदि स्वयं ते नियमान् परिपालयन्ति, अस्माभिः परिपालनीयमेव न। अतः तत्र अद्भुतः अनुभवः भवति सः।
Even in the midst of these great responsibilities, the Mahaswamiji seeks to connect heart to heart. He tries to establish a personal connection with everyone he meets, regardless of who they are.
Even though I have been serving Mahaswamiji for the last 25 years, even today I get amazed by how Mahaswamiji establishes a personal contact with each person who approaches him. Because unless that bond is established, the teachings will not penetrate. Whether it is a scholar, householder, spiritual aspirant or a child, Mahaswamiji gives equal importance to everyone.
Being fluent in multiple languages, the Mahaswamiji drives home the essence of Sanatana Dharma in the language of his audience.
ಇರುವುದು ನಿತ್ಯವೂ ಸತ್ಯವೂ ಆಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತು. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಆತ್ಮ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಮುಂತಾದ ಶಬ್ದಗಳಿಂದ ಕರೀತೇವೆ. ಅದು ಒಂದೇ ನಿತ್ಯ ಸತ್ಯವಾದದ್ದು. ಅಂತಹ ನಿತ್ಯ ಸತ್ಯವಾದ ಎರಡನೇ ವಸ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅದ್ವೈತ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು. ఒకడే దేవుడు ధర్మ. మరి ఇన్ని దేవాలయాలు ఏమిటి, ఇన్ని దేవాలయాలు ఇంతమంది దేవుడు ఏమిటి, దేవుడు ఇది ఏమిటి? ఒకే పరమాత్మ అనేకమైన రూపములను గ్రహించాడు. மனுஷனுக்கு கிருத்தஜ்ஞதைங்கிறது ஒரு பெரிய குணம் வேண்டியது. நமக்கு யார் ஒருத்தர் ஒரு உபகாரம் பண்ணினால் அவர் விஷயத்தில் நாம் ரொம்ப கிருத்தஜ்ஞராக இருக்கணும். நாம் ஆதிசங்கரருக்கு ஏன் கிருத்தஜ்ஞராக இருக்கோம்னாக்கே அவர் இந்த சனாதன தர்மத்தை உத்தாரம் பண்ணினத்தினார். मनुष्य को जिसके आचरण से श्रेय मिलता है वह धर्म है. जैसे सच्चा बोलना, सत्य कथन, ये सत्य कथन जो है ये तो परम धर्म है। संसार में कोई भी ऐसा एक प्रवक्ता नहीं जो सत्य को अधर्म माने।
I can say this much from my experience, that the heart speaks to the heart. Therefore, when we are in the company of a great person, automatically we feel from inside, from the inmost depths of our heart, he is the Guru, he is the fittest person to guide me in my personal spiritual life.
Jagadguru is like river Ganges. Anyone can go there, take whatever he wants. The Ganges will continue to flow the way it is, and whatever the seeker wants there, he would have got.
When I'm looking at Guruji, I'm always struck by how natural he is, and how kind and how gentle, and how he spends time with every being that approaches him and that wants his attention, and he gives all the attention, he gives everything the people ask from him, and he's happy to make them happy. Especially with children, I see Guruji is very fond of children, and the children, they respond to him. They come to him and they like to talk to him, and they have smiling in conversations, and he gives them an apple and then another apple, and they come back and they ask for more, and he's just a great uncle for them.
I first saw the Mahaswamiji in the late 1980s. The interest that he has in music, his appreciation for musicians, we musicians consider it a great blessing. His favorite composition is Endaro Mahanubhavulu, set to Sri Ragam. The kindest and most affectionate inquiries he makes about us and our families makes us very happy. Our ancient tradition and culture is thriving today because of the preservation of it by the Mahaswamiji's Guru Parampara. This Guru Parampara is a treasure for India.
Although I rarely speak with His Holiness directly, I've never felt better cared for spiritually. Usually I just I pray before asking a question. And I've been amazed time and time again how quickly answers come.
He may be tired because of his rigorous schedule, but he treats everyone so cordially. He makes everyone feel so wanted. He treats everyone with geniality, right from small children to old people. Everybody feels at home. So I think that's a big lesson that we have to learn. That is how we need to treat people, how we need to behave in the midst of people.
Shri Bharati Tirtha Swamiji आशीर्वाद निमित्त आमगेला समाजाचे लोकांक मस्त रीती.
It is with the complete blessings of the Mahaswamiji that the fishing community here has been leading a happy and contented life.
We have also been very fortunate to have personal interaction with the Mahaswamin. And I can truly say, he's got infinite patience. He pays full attention, understands the situation and the person, and the advice that is given is just correct. This capacity, with all the other responsibilities of a Peethadhishwara that he exhibits, is something that all of us can appreciate, admire, and try to inculcate. This is probably what makes him a Jagadguru